In ancient times, spiritual knowledge was treated as sacred and carefully guarded. A spiritual seeker usually had to wait for years before being taught. That means the sacred knowledge was only shared with those who are truly ready. But today, however, this knowledge is widely available through books, courses, and videos, and despite the abundance of content, many seekers still feel something is missing. Because much of this easily available knowledge remains shallow. And true spiritual knowledge is not something you can just absorb like a textbook. It's not about what you read or what you listen. It's about what you are spiritually ready to receive. And another problem is most teachings today scratch only the surface. They give you fragments of knowledge, but the deeper truths, the ones that transform your soul, are buried within the layers of understanding. These truths, found in Guhya Shastras or hidden scriptures of Sanatana Dharma, are concealed for a reason, hidden for a reason. And this is not about gatekeeping knowledge, it's about spiritual readiness. And without the right preparation, these teachings won't resonate, and they'll be like seeds planted in barren soil. And that's why so many seekers, despite their curiosity, feel stuck, caught between the desire for wisdom and the lack of tools to truly comprehend it. And in fact, many of these greatest secrets are not meant to be understood right away. And as I mentioned, in earlier times, seekers would have to wait patiently for years before they were ready to be initiated into deeper mysteries. So, if you are feeling like you are not quite there yet, don't worry. You are not alone. But today, we are going beyond the surface. We'll peel back these layers and uncover these secrets together. And we'll explore the true meaning of Guhya Shastras and why they remain hidden, and the profound significance of Mantra and its Shadangas, and importance of Sahasranamas and Pancha Lakshanas of a Deity, and most importantly, how understanding these layers of knowledge can lead to spiritual awakening. So, stick with me. This is more than just an explanation. This is a guide. And I promise, the rewards of this journey will transform your entire understanding of existence. Let's begin. You have probably heard the word occult used in many different ways. But do we really understand what it means? The term occult in English doesn't fully capture its true essence. At its core, occult refers to a divine capability, a sacred power that goes beyond our ordinary senses. The Sanskrit term that describes this sacred knowledge is Guhya Shastra, Rahasya Vidya, which translates as hidden science. Sadly, it's often misunderstood as something dark or evil. But here's the truth. The occult is not about darkness, it's about the hidden. Let me take you further. Knowledge in Shastras is divided into two categories, Prakata Shastras and Guhya Shastras. Prakata Shastras. These are teachings that talk about material sciences. They are open teachings. That means anyone can approach and understand them. They offer external knowledge. Think of it like the science of the material world. Examples: Artha Shastra, Ganita Shastra, Ratna Shastra, Shilpa Shastra, Niti Shastra, etc. These are available for anyone to grasp. Now coming to Guhya Shastras. These are divine sciences, secret teachings. They are meant only for those who are eligible, those ready to receive the sacred knowledge about inner journey and awakening. These scriptures unlock wisdom that goes beyond the senses and beyond the material world. Examples include Dharma Shastras, Mantra Shastras, Tattva Shastras, Vedanta Shastras, etc. Guhya Shastras are not just some random knowledge. It's only for those who seek the truth at the highest level. But wait, what do I mean by eligibility, ready, etc. That's where things get interesting. Now, before we dive into the deeper aspects of this, let's understand why the Guhya Shastras are not for everyone. Let us consider an example to illustrate this. Imagine you want to become a doctor. Can you just walk into a hospital and start treating patients? Of course not. You first need years of medical education, rigorous exams, and then hands-on experience. Without these preparations, you are unqualified. You could be putting lives at risk, right? Well, the same goes for Guhya Shastras. These teachings are not like the surface level knowledge you find in your average book or course. They are transformative. And to understand them, you need qualifications. Here is what I mean. A strong grounding in foundational scriptures. I mean, you need to be familiar with the basics. We'll come to this foundational knowledge in a couple of minutes in this video. And purity of mind, body, and intent. Think of it like a clear lens. Only when the lens is clean, you can see it properly. Only when your mind, body, and intent are pure, you can see the divine truth clearly. A disciplined lifestyle rooted in ethics, without a strong foundation in how to live ethically, the higher wisdom won't even resonate with you. And a qualified guru's guidance. Just like a doctor needs to be trained under a senior expert, you need to be guided by someone who has already walked that path. And without these prerequisites, it's like trying to fix a car engine without knowing how it works. You might end up causing more harm than good. The same applies to Guhya Shastras. They deal with things like yantra, mantra, and tantra, which, if misunderstood or misused, can have serious consequences. That's why these teachings are reserved only for those who are ready, those who have built the foundation to handle the power properly. So what's the bottom line? Eligibility is not just a formality, it's a safeguard. It ensures that the sacred teachings within these Shastras are approached with the respect and responsibility they deserve. And once you are prepared, these teachings have the power to elevate your consciousness, transform your life, and connect you to a level of divine wisdom that's been waiting for you all along. So, are you ready to take the first steps towards understanding these Shastras? Let's dive into Guhya Shastras, the hidden wisdom that leads to the deepest realizations. But first, let me ask you this. What does knowledge really mean to you? Think. Chalo. Knowledge in Shastras is further divided into Guhya, Guhyatara, and Guhyatama. Guhya, the confidential knowledge. We start with the basics, Dharma Shastras. These teachings are for the beginners, those who are just stepping into the spiritual path. It's like learning the rules of life before you can start applying the deeper wisdom. Imagine this. You are beginning a journey and you need a foundation first, right? That's exactly what Dharma Shastras provide. Guidance on how to live, what to practice, what to follow, and how to build a strong foundation for your spiritual growth. And now, coming to Guhyatara, the deeper and the hidden knowledge. Once you have mastered the basics, it's time to dive deeper. Mantra Shastras are at this level. And trust me, they are more than just words. They are vibrations, sacred codes that open doors to deeper spiritual transformation. For instance, have you ever felt the profound impact of chanting mantras? These mantras have the power to guide you to new realms of understanding, helping you to see beyond the surface and transform your consciousness. And finally, Guhyatama, the ultimate and the supreme knowledge. Now, if you are ready for the ultimate truth, this is where the magic happens. This level is for the highest wisdom, those who seek the deepest revelations about existence and the self. Here we find Tattva Shastras, Vedanta Shastras, Sri Vidya, and texts like Bhagavad Gita, Lalita Sahasram, Tripura Rahasyam, etc. These are not just books, they are portals to the universal truths about who you are and what the universe is. And at first glance, you might wonder, how could understanding and following Dharma be classified as Guhya Shastra, a hidden or secret knowledge? Doesn't it seem like Dharma, being so essential, should be straightforward, right? Let me share an example that will help you understand this profound concept. Imagine this. An eagle has caught a small bird. It's perched on a tree, tightly holding the bird in its claws, ready to eat it. The bird is crying out in pain, desperately struggling to escape. And there you are, watching this unfold right in front of you. Now comes the dilemma. If you save the bird, you are taking away the eagle's food. But if you don't save the bird, you feel guilty for not helping when you had the power to do so. So, what should you do? Pause for a moment and really think about it. This is the complexity of Dharma. It's not black and white. To truly grasp it, you need to understand its deeper intricacies, its ins and outs. Following Dharma is not as simple as obeying a set of predefined rules. It requires insight, careful thought, and spiritual maturity. Here is the fascinating part. Dharma Shastras are considered Guhya because their teachings are layered. They are not easy to understand right away. Their deeper meanings reveal themselves only to those who are spiritually prepared to uncover them. And that preparation, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, sometimes lifetimes of consistent effort to develop the insight required to navigate the complexities of Dharma. Let me explain this further with a real-world analogy. When you were studying for your degrees like BSc, BCom or BTech, do you remember how confusing some concepts seemed to be at that time? It was like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. But then, when you advance to MSc, MCom or MTech, those earlier concepts which were like puzzles in previous levels began to make sense and clear. But here's the twist. While you were gaining clarity on what you learned earlier in your previous levels, you also encounter new challenges at this higher level. The learning did not stop. It deepened. Every step forward reveals even greater depths to explore. This is exactly how the journey of Dharma works. With spiritual growth, the subtler layers of Dharma starts making sense. And just like in academics, every new level brings clarity on the previous levels, but also presents new puzzles to solve in the current level. And now, returning to the eagle and bird dilemma, what would you do? Here is a small insight to guide you. To follow Dharma, you must neither act impulsively nor remain indifferent. The key lies in finding balance. Approach every situation with calm and neutral perspective. This is why Dharma Shastras are Guhya. They don't give you simple answers. Instead, they teach you how to develop the wisdom to discern the right path in any situation. And here is something important to keep in mind. Neither sensitivity nor arrogance can guide you in Dharma. Striking the right balance is crucial. But what if you are still unsure? That's when you seek guidance from a true guru. A guru's wisdom and compassion can help you navigate these complexities with clarity and confidence. For now, Dharma is Guhya, the first step on this profound journey. This is just the beginning of our journey together. In future videos, we'll explore these concepts more deeply. So, stick around. There is more to uncover, and I promise it will be worth it. And now, coming to the next layer, Guhyatara, the deeper secret. Here, we enter the realm of Mantra Shastras. You might be wondering, what makes mantras so special? They are collections of sacred words, right? Well, they are much more than that. Mantras are profound teachings, carrying layers of hidden meanings, divine concepts, and universal truths. For example, mantras like Purusha Suktam, Sri Suktam, Rudram, etc. holds within them the mysteries of creation and the interconnectedness of life and the divine order of the cosmos. But here is the secret. Unlocking these meanings is not as simple as reciting these words. It requires dedication, guidance, and spiritual readiness, and the qualities that you develop through consistent effort and practice. And these mantras are like keys, and when used correctly, they open doors to understanding the universe at a level you have never imagined before. And finally, we arrive at Guhyatama, the supreme secret and the pinnacle of sacred knowledge. This is where we encounter the most advanced teachings: Tattva Shastras, Vedanta Shastras, Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, and Sri Vidya. Each of these paths offer a subtle but profound perspective, yet all they converge towards one ultimate reality, that is, realizing the self and understanding the ultimate reality. This is the highest layer of wisdom, the point where knowledge transforms into direct experience. I repeat, this is the point where knowledge transforms into direct experience. It's not about theories or ideas anymore. It's about revealing the very essence of existence, the core of who are you. Let's put this entire journey, Guhya, Guhyatara, and Guhyatama, into perspective. Imagine peeling back the layers of an onion. Each layer reveals a greater depth, a more profound truth, until you finally reach the center. And what lies at the center? Your true self. At the surface, we start with the Prakata Shastras, the external sciences and obvious teachings. But as we go deeper, layer by layer, we encounter the Antara Vijnanam, the inner wisdom revealed through these Guhya Shastras. Here is something to reflect on. Guhya is not just about what's hidden. It's about learning to distinguish between the outer and the inner, the Bahya and Antara. It's about bridging the gap between what we see outside and what lies within. The journey through Guhya, Guhyatara, and Guhyatama is not just a path, it's a bridge, connecting the external world to the internal one, guiding us step by step towards the ultimate realization of our own self. And here is where I would like to leave you with a question to ponder. What layer are you currently exploring in your spiritual journey? Are you still navigating the surface, or are you beginning to uncover the deeper secrets within? In the next sections, we'll peel back another layer together. Stay with me as we dive deeper, because each step brings us closer to the essence of who we are. And trust me, what lies ahead is worth every moment of this journey. And I am about to share with you the timeless and sacred wisdom of these Shastras. Let's move on. And many of you may already be familiar with the divine teachings of Lalita Sahasranama. But let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered what makes this scripture so unique? Is this just a collection of verses to be recited? Or is there something deeper hidden within? Lalita Sahasranama in particular is no ordinary scripture. While many recite it, sing it, and even teach it, its true essence remains elusive. This sacred text is not just a hymn of praise. It's a divine treasure, revealed only to those who approach it with profound respect and genuine dedication. And this is not about acquiring knowledge. It's about transformation. It's about becoming worthy of the truths embedded in these sacred scriptures. We need to approach the scripture with reverence and respect it deserves. Let's take this journey to next step. In the worship of any deity, mantras and Sahasranama stotras form the core of spiritual practice. These are not just hymns of praise. Our elders gifted them to us as a profound vijnanam to understand the very essence of the deity. The process of Sahasranamas and its composition is extraordinary. Because we have become so accustomed to it, it often feels like ordinary to us. Let's explore what makes them so special. Across traditions and deities, the practice of chanting Sahasranamas is universal. Consider this. In Vishnu Upasana, we have Vishnu Sahasranamas. In Shiva Upasana, we have Shiva Sahasranamas found in texts like Shiva Purana and Mahabharata. Additionally, we have specific Sahasranamas for Krishna, Rama, Narasimha, etc. Similarly, the Divine Mother is glorified with various Sahasranamas like Lakshmi Sahasranamas, Gauri Sahasranamas, Saraswati, Durga, etc. And here is something fascinating. One deity can have multiple Sahasranamas. For instance, Shiva Sahasranamas mentioned in Shiva Purana is different and Shiva Sahasranamas mentioned in Mahabharata is different. But both glorifies Lord Shiva. Each Sahasranama offers a unique perspective and deeper insight into the deity it glorifies. Let's dive into something even more fascinating, that is the connection between mantras and Sahasranamas. Every mantra's efficacy is enhanced by 6 essential components, collectively known as Shadangas. They are Bija, seed syllable, the core essence of the mantra; Shakti, the divine energy that empowers the mantra; Kilaka, the element that unlocks or safeguards the mantra's power; Kavacha, the protective aspect of the mantra; Hridaya, the emotional and spiritual core of the practice; and Sahasranamas, a hymn of 1,000 aspects glorifying the deity. For example, consider this verse from Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram. Om Asya Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram Mala Mantrasya Vasanyadi Vagdevata Roshayaha Anushtup Chandaha Sri Lalita Parabhattarika Maha Tripura Sundari Devata. Now listen carefully. Aim Bijam Sauh Shaktihi Klim Kilakam Sri Lalita Parabhattarika Maha Tripura Sundari Prityarthe Jape Viniyogaha. Did you notice? I just recited Bija, Shakti and Kilaka in it. These 3 form the inner layers of the mantra. These are the mantra's core. Surrounding them are Kavacha, Hridaya and Sahasranama, the outer layers. Each component adds depth to mantra's power, making this as a complete system of spiritual empowerment. And here is a powerful insight. Chanting the Sahasranama Stotram of a deity significantly enhances the power of its corresponding mantra. It's like adding layers of focus and energy to your spiritual practice. Our great rishis have gifted us the Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram as a divine blessing to attain Paripurna Siddhi in the worship of Divine Mother's Panchadasi or Shodasi mantra. But this is very crucial. These mantras, Shodasi or Panchadasi, should only be received as Upadesam from a Guru who has reached the pinnacle of realization in Sri Vidya. Why? Because these mantras are not just letters or words, they are living divine energy. Receiving them without the proper initiation can diminish their potency or even result in unintended consequences. Let me repeat this. These sacred mantras, Shodasi or Panchadasi, must only be received as Upadesam from a Guru who has attained the highest level of realization in Sri Vidya. This is the vital step for anyone who is following the path of Sri Vidya worship. So, I leave you with a question. What does Sahasranama mean to you? Is it just a chant, or do you see it as a bridge to the divine? Stay with me. Let's explore. Every mantra or puja holds its own sacred significance and is unique in its way. But what is the best puja or what is the best mantra to chant? Let's get in. During any puja or while chanting any mantra or Sahasranamas, you might have come across the phrase Vratanam Uttamam Vratam or Sahasranamanam Uttamam. Now think about this. What does this really mean? It means that the mantra, puja or Sahasranama you are practicing right now is considered as the best for you at that moment. There is nothing more powerful or supreme than what you are currently reciting or performing. For example, if you are performing Ganapati Puja or chanting Ganapati Mantra, it is said that it is the best. Similarly, if you are worshipping Lord Shiva, that becomes the most supreme practice at that time. Every puja emphasizes that itself is the best. But why is this so? This perspective teaches us a valuable lesson about faith and focus. When worshipping a deity, we should do so with unwavering dedication. Why? Because believing that the Sahasranama, mantra, or puja we are practicing is the greatest and that helps us to stay focused and creates a stronger connection with the divine. Here is the thing. Imagine for a moment if a devotee starts questioning whether their mantra is powerful enough or begins comparing it with some other mantra. What happens? They lose faith in current mantra, and once doubt creeps in, it creates confusion. Then the connection with the deity starts to weaken, and without that connection, they miss out on the divine blessings meant just for them. That is, they miss out the anugraha of the deity. So, doubt is a dangerous thing in spiritual practice. So here is the golden rule. To truly benefit from any mantra or Sahasranama, approach it with sincerity, faith and devotion. Believe wholeheartedly that it is the best for your spiritual growth, and this belief will strengthen your connection with the divine. This is exactly why in every puja we say, Vratanam Uttamam Vratam. This is the best and nothing else. Because when you wholeheartedly embrace your practice, it becomes the best for you. Now, let's dig deeper. Before we dive into the real power of Sahasranamas, it's time to ask some fundamental questions. Why was the concept of Sahasranama even introduced? Why was the number Sahasra? Why not more or less than 1,000? These are questions that spark deep curiosity, right? Understanding these will help us grasp the deeper meaning and the true significance behind chanting Sahasranamas. Let's explore these questions together and unlock the deeper layers of this sacred practice. Stay tuned, because this is where the journey truly begins. Let's explore a profound question together. How can we, as finite beings, truly connect with the infinite divine? This is where the ancient wisdom of Upanishads guides us. It beautifully expresses the nature of the divine as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The divine is truth, knowledge and infinity. But here lies a challenge. The divine is Ananta Tattva, infinite, limitless and boundless, while we, as humans, are finite. Our understanding has limits, our abilities have boundaries, and ultimately, our very existence has an end. That is the reason we are known as Anta, and in contrast, the divine is Ananta. So how can the Anta truly honor the Ananta? How can a being with limited actions achieve infinite results? This is not just a philosophical question, it's a deeply spiritual one. And the rishis, in their infinite wisdom, found a way to bridge this gap. Let's unravel this mystery. The term Sahasra is not just a number, it's a profound concept rooted in the idea of infinity. To understand this, let's turn to the wisdom of Mahabharata, which states, Vishwam Satam Sahasram Sarvamakshaya Vachakam. Here Vishwam means universe, Satam indicates 100, Sahasram is 1,000, and Sarvam represents everything. Then comes the very important word Akshayam, which means endless or imperishable. Now listen very carefully. Akshayam is opposite of Kshayam. Kshayam means something that has an end, while Akshayam means something that is endless or infinite. In this context, words like Vishwam, Satam, Sahasram and Sarvam all represents the Akshaya Tattva, the limitless essence of the divine. And Akshaya is a synonym of Ananta. Among these terms, the rishis choose Sahasra as a symbolic expression of infinite. Hence, Sahasra is Anantavachi or Anantavachaka, a term that represents the infinite. When we chant the Sahasranamas, the 1,000 names of the divine, we are not just counting numbers. We are invoking that Akshaya Tattva, the limitless nature of the divine, through a finite expressions. By glorifying the divine with Sahasranamas, we align ourselves with the Ananta Bhagavat Tattva, and here is the beauty of it. Even though our actions are finite, they are transformed by the alignment, allowing us to experience those boundless results. This is the brilliance of our rishis. They gave us a way to overcome our limitations and connect with the infinite. Sahasranamas are a way of bridging the gap between Anta and Ananta, between the finite and infinite. So, let me leave you with this thought. When you chant or listen to a Sahasranama, are you simply reciting a list of names? Or are you using it as a tool to connect with the infinite, to transcend your own limitations and to align with the Ananta Bhagavat Tattva? When the finite aligns with the infinite, miracles happen. Let the Sahasranamas guide you towards that transformation. Let's take this journey further. For worship to yield significant results, the deity we are worshipping must be known completely. Many of you might wonder, what if we worship without fully knowing the deity? Will it still yield results? The answer is, of course, yes, it will yield results. But those results will be limited because without understanding, the worship lacks depth. Without awareness, the connection remains superficial. This is why the scriptures emphasize Gnatva kurvi cha karmani. Perform actions with complete understanding and awareness. Worship is not just a ritual, it is a process of transformation. And this transformation is magnified when you know who you are worshipping, why you are worshipping, and what the divine truly represents. And when it comes to fully knowing a deity, the scriptures guide us to explore 5 key concepts. They are Rupa, the form; Guna, the qualities beyond Sattva, Rajas and Tamas; Leelas, the divine deeds and actions; Mahimas, the glories, their powers and greatness; and ultimately Tattva, the ultimate essence or the eternal truth they represent, beyond the physical and beyond the visible. These 5 aspects, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Mahima and Tattva, are collectively known as Pancha Lakshanas, or the 5 characteristics of divine understanding. And here is where the challenge begins. Each of these 5 aspects, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Mahima and Tattva, is not a simple concept. Let's explore these 5 aspects in brief. First one, Rupa. The forms of the divine are countless. Each limb, each adornment, each color carries layers of meanings. Example, like the Dhyana slokas focuses on the form of the deity. Next, Guna. The qualities of the divine are limitless, transcending human comprehension. Understanding them fully would require studying endless texts like Bhagavad Gita, where Sri Krishna describes his divine attributes. Next, Leelas. The divine deeds are vast and ever-expanding. The Ramayana and Mahabharata, for example, are filled with divine Leelas. Mahimas. The glories of the deity are so immense that even the combined efforts of poets and rishis cannot fully describe them. And finally, Tattva. The ultimate truth of the deity is infinite, beyond the grasp of human mind. It transcends words, logic, and intellect. If we were to attempt to describe each of these aspects in detail, the knowledge would fill countless volumes of books. But here's the key question. Do we, as finite beings, have the capacity to absorb such vast knowledge? The answer is simple. No. Our finite minds, bound by time and space, cannot fully grasp the infinite nature of the divine through conventional means. This is where the brilliance of our rishis shines through. To make this infinite knowledge accessible to us, the rishis condensed the entire essence of these 5 aspects into Sahasranamas. Each name in Sahasranama represents a specific element of Rupa or Guna or Leela or Mahima or Tattva. Together, the 1,000 names weave a complete and divine tapestry of understanding. By chanting and meditating on these names, we don't just recite words, we align ourselves with the infinite divine essence they represent. The rishis have given us an unparalleled treasure through the Sahasranama Stotras. It is more than a devotional hymn. It is a Shastra in itself, bridging the gap between the finite worshipper and to experience the infinite divine in its fullness. Each name we chant, each aspect we explore, and each question we answer brings us closer to the divine light that resides within and beyond us. And this is just the beginning. Till now we understood Shadangas, Ananta Tattva, Sahasra Sankhya as Anantavachi, and Pancha Lakshanas and their importance in worship of any deity. I hope you have begun to feel the depth of this journey we are sharing. With every moment, we are unraveling the timeless wisdom gifted to us by our rishis. Keep your heart and mind open, for what lies ahead is even more profound. The blueprint we are building together is unfolding piece by piece, and trust me, the best is yet to come. Thank you.